Hello, Margaret. Nice to see you today. Um, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you a little bit more about humanist ceremonies because that's something I know very little about. So I wondered if you could just tell me what exactly is a humanist ceremony and what is different from, say, a religious ceremony or a civil ceremony.
I think the main difference is humanist ceremonies are non-religious, so they don't refer to organised religion or a god or any other deity. So they're incredibly flexible. They don't follow a prescribed format. There's no set wordings. You really can have almost anything you want within those celebrations, and they're very special, symbolic, memorable for people. So it just offers something really, really very different from the norm.
hmm So you're saying it's something very special. It's obviously something that is unique and tailor-made.
Absolutely.
Yes. So how do you work with people, with couples or individuals or families in order to achieve that, in order to put the ceremony together?
Well, I mean, at its simplest, I get to know them. So I'll have a meeting with the family or the couple, sometimes extended family, and really get a feel for what they want from their particular ceremony. Some couples have very, very clear ideas and are just looking for me to facilitate it. Others want to be guided through the process. And I've got boxes of poetry and readings and different symbolic rituals that we can use. It's entirely up to the individual. So on the back of a meeting, or sometimes more than one meeting if it's a wedding, I will draft something up for them, for the couple or the family to approve. And I will keep on drafting and tweaking until they're absolutely happy with it. Because at the end of the day, it's their script, it's their celebration, and I want it to be right for them.
hmm So you say that they are all individual and people can choose whatever they want for their ceremonies, but do they tend to follow some sort of format generally?
There's a suggested format for almost every sort of ceremony, but it is a suggestion. So I find increasingly with weddings, although people want a non-traditional wedding, they do follow the traditional format. So they do want to make an entrance. There is an exchange of rings. They do exchange vows. You know, there is music and some sort of ritual going on as part of the ceremony. But it don't have to be, you know, because it's not a legal ceremony. It's just celebrating the love of that couple for one another.
Sure.
It can take any format they want.
Yeah, that does all sound very, very flexible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Talking about christenings, and I'm mentioning this because I did go to a christening back at the beginning of the year, and the christening was, I mean, it was lovely, of course, but it was quite stilted, quite formal. And I remember thinking at the time it would be nice if this was a little bit more fun, particularly for the children there. Presumably that's something you can incorporate quite easily.
Yes, I'm really clear with the families from the outset that it's not a problem if children are running around and screaming. That's what children do. And the day is about their child and the naming of that child. I find it works better if you actually actively involve the children. So if they're blowing bubbles or clapping or singing or taking part in some sort of ritual, you know, so they're engaged with it. But if they're not, if they want to go to the back of the room or the garden and play, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. And are there any nice things such as, I don't know, I've seen people at weddings, for example, having a picture where everybody signs their name and that sort of thing. Any different things like that you've had for weddings? Or
Yes, there are some lovely ones. What people use for both weddings and namings is that there'll be a drawing of a tree of life, and as guests come in, they will press their thumbs into an ink pad and make a leaf from that thumbprint, and then everybody signs it at the end.
Oh, what a nice idea.
You've got a memento of the day.
Yes.
Weddings, increasingly, people love a hand fasting, I think, because of the symbolism. So you take the two hands of the couple and you bind them with a sash or a scarf or whatever is symbolic to them. And then when you part the hands, they're able to come apart, but they're also joined. So it's symbolic of that union. They have the freedom to be individuals, but there is a tie there.
Yes, and that's lovely. I've not heard of that before.
It's very old tradition.
Yes, oh really? That's really interesting. So just